When they let you guys all in, they were like mid celebration and they're doing the celebration or whatever. And then did they all just kind of disperse was Middleton just hanging out with everybody and you guys just he was just talking to media? You guys walked up in. Did Anthony grab him? Like what?
So the way this all played out, like we went in, Rob Thompson gives his speech, I guess, right, to the team, and only a couple TV cameras were in there at that point. So the writers weren't in there at that time. So they finish the speech, they do their like initial rush on him, and then Dancing on My Own comes on, and then the clubhouse door opens. And then at that point, we're walking into that scrum of them just jumping around, going crazy, singing and dancing to that. So that was like, I walked in right as they were getting into it.
Do they provide goggles? Do they provide goggles for the media members?
No goggles, but it was a situation where an extra pair of clothes was necessary. I mean, you're in it. Like there's the circle, a couple TV guys, and then you're right behind it. And I mean, you're getting beer hit in the face, champagne getting you in the face. I mean, I actually have a few videos that I was taking where like the beer just hits the lens and you can't even see anything. It was chaos. Yeah. Those guys got after it, man. Like they really did. It was an impressive display.
Is there anything behind the scenes that like people like don't realize, like you know, the nuances of like the locker room celebration? Like I always thought it was so cool how like everything's just like tarped up.
Yeah. So all their like individual stalls are all tarped up. You got the music just going crazy. You got just 30 packs of beer everywhere. So much of that beer doesn't get drank, especially at the beginning of it, though. Like, it's just on the floor. It's on the walls. It's on your face. So you see all those beers going, and you're like, those guys must be getting absolutely hammered. It probably took a while to reach the level of intoxication that the occasion deserves, right? But yeah, it was really cool. So to go back to Kevin's point about like, so how do we get Middleton? We were in there like, I don't know. It was probably about 30, 40 minutes or so. Like they went hard the entire time. Like it was like everyone jumping around, and then they'd sort of like break off and like do a one-on-one or with a group of reporters. And then they would kind of like reconvene and get after it again. John Middleton talked to Jamie Apodi, I guess, for a couple minutes, and John Clark, and then he was sort of just lingering around, and that's where we grabbed him, and we had him for about probably a good 5 minutes. One thing I give the guy a lot of credit for is that's one of the biggest days of his professional career, and you know he's talking to the people that asked him questions and really gave some insightful answers, like anecdotal stuff. He wasn't just like yeah, like get out of my face.
One more question I have about the locker room celebration. Do they tell you guys like, hey, listen, like if you want to expense like the dry cleaning bill, we'll pick it up? Like I actually will under that. No,
you know, the one question I kept getting was like, did you get to like have a beer in there? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know that sucks.
Like one thing I've definitely learned, like being in media a little bit more, is that like people have no idea what happens. Like we're not in there like high-fiving Kyle Schwarber. We're not like knocking back a Bud Heavy. Like
yeah, I could never be a writer. I would just I see a party and I just want to go and gravitate towards it.
You're not like the Colorado Avalanche writer who was lifting the Stanley Cup with the stogie in his mouth.
Come on, Bob. Kyle Schwarber has the trophy. It's passed to Bryce Harper, and it's passed to Aaron Nolan, and it's passed around to the other 26, 27, whatever guys, 40-man roster, whatever. It's going to Anthony Sanfilippo. Anthony Sanfilippo looks at it and maybe raises it, but there's not. But there's not any.
No, Anthony would never. Anthony would never. He's
John Clark. Wait, hold on. John Clark gets the trophy and he raises it.
Well, you know
it's going to Bob Wankel next. Hold on. Is Bob Wankel lifting the commissioner's trophy?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Come on.
Now, if I got like bullied into it, like if a player was like, lift it, you know, like something like, yeah. Like,
yeah, if Real Muto told him to lift it or else he's a pussy, then Bob would have it. And then Bob hands it to Jamie Apodi, who hands it to Matt Gelb, who hands it to Marcus Hayes.
And you know what? The circle of life, the Philadelphia Equinox, is then born.
Brings everybody together.